Hello once again. Bailey from Ramen News is back. And sorry for not uploading last week. It was me forgetting plus laziness and stuff. But here I am now. Today's video is about Joshua 1 through 9. Joshua 1 9. And I'll explain what I think it means. And before I start, I ask you please criticize me on the videos on how I can improve on them. And comment if you need prayer or any questions. And I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. But without further ado, we can start now. Joshua 1 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not tremble or be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. End quote. The context of this verse is when Joshua was encouraging the Israelites to have no fear for their enemies and unknown lands. God will be in their presence at all times, like how he protected them from Pharaoh and his army. And even though this verse is directly talking about the Israelites and with their enemies, this verse can still be applied to us. So, and what I mean by that is it reminds us that we have no reason to be afraid of the dangerous and negative possibilities happening around us, because either God won't let them happen, or if we do encounter these troubles, he'll hold our right hand and walk us through it. And sometimes he'll stay silent during stuff like this, seeming like we're alone in these tribulations. But ultimately, he is still there, and he'll want us to process through it with nothing but our faith. And if he is allowing us to walk through this tribulation, I believe that means we're able to handle it, even if it doesn't seem like that. And of course, I'm not saying it'll be a walk in the park because we have God, but because God didn't promise that we'll have an easy life. In fact, it does get a bit harder because of what we have to do and how anti-cultural our beliefs are. But God said he'll always be near his people. He'll always power us up, even if it doesn't seem like he did. And he'll give us rest when we need it. Look at the book Job. Despite Job losing everything so fast, he never cursed God out. He was showing doubts of God's grace and righteousness, but he still acknowledged God's existence and knew that he is the creator of the universe. Don't take my word, but I believe God let Job be affected by these numerous calamities let me repeat that. I believe God let Job be affected by these enormous calamities because Job was able to handle it. And what I mean, is that he went through it when it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to make him curse out God and just completely destroy his connection to him. Again, of course, he was showing doubts, but he still did love the Lord ultimately. Of course, he was an emotional mess and stuff, but it wasn't enough to be like, oh, I don't think God's real anymore or anything like that. You know what I mean? Despite what Job was going through and the strong emotions he was having, it just wasn't enough for him to curse God. And that's one of the reasons why I think God let Job suffer like that, because, he was spiritually strong enough to, go through it and still be cool with the Lord. But I'm sorry, I got a little bit off track again. But I would like to make a video going more depth about suffering. But for now, let's talk about this topic's verse. In conclusion, yes, it'll feel like God isn't there or doing anything, but he is always fighting our battle for us every day. He fights off the devils that want to invade our mind. He fights off any temptations we'll go through. He fights off any possible calamities that will bring nothing but despair or even death for today and for the future. And he fights off many things without us realizing it. God's amazing. We shouldn't forget that, and we should always remember that even when things are bleak, are just terrible, we should always remember that it could be worse, and God prevents that from getting there. He prevents it from getting worse. So let's just keep our faith in him. Just remember the times that he does deliver us, that he does help us out. And the times that even if he does let us go through suffering, it's to make us stronger, or to just test our faith, to test our waters. But that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want. And remember to always criticize me, tell me how to do better in these videos and stuff like that. And perfectly, I'll see y'all beautiful people next weekend. Goodbye, beautifuls.